Students, let's continue our ninth class poem, The Legend of Northland. I have told you yesterday that a legend of Northland is a ballad, and ballad is a kind of a story which is written in the form of lyrical ballads, right? In a rhyme, and the story always transferred from one generation to the next generation. And the story is, and that poem is written by Phoebe Carey, and he has written in 16 stanzas. This poem is so long, but as you know that it is which is looks like as a deer, right? To the sledges, I told you, in our villages we are having bull and cart, that is also known as sledges. Okay, when it snows and the children look like beer cubs, I told you that time also that the children are looking like a beer cubs, means they are wearing a so furry jackets that they are resembling as a bears, right? Funny furry clothes means what he is saying, in the Northland people put in harness fast moving reindeers to draw their sledges when it snows. Outside there is a snow, and they fast moving reindeers, why they tie the reindeers to their sledges? Because reindeer is so fast moving animal, that's why. When it is slow, children are covered in funny clothes made of fur and look like beer cubs, right? Now the third paragraph, they tell them a curious story, I don't believe this true. Now the old peoples tell a curious story, an interesting story to the children's. And which kind of story? Let's see. And yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Now there is some moral behind the story, so that's why they are reciting that particular story to their grandchildren, right? The people of the Northland tell their children a strange story. The poet comments that it may not be a true story, yet it can teach a lesson to whoever hears it. May learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. You can learn a lesson if the poet tell us a story, tell us a tale. Okay, means what he is saying, the people of Northland tell their children a strange story. The poet comments that it may not be a true story, yet it can teach a lesson to whoever hears it. Now, in the fourth paragraph, now the story started from here, from the fourth paragraph. In the first and the second and the third paragraph, he means preaching means teaching only about the religion, just as he did, now because the saints are always doing like these things. About the Gautam Buddha is a famous who teaches about the Bodhidharma, right? So here in the fourth paragraph, once a good Saint Peter lived on the earth and walked about from place to place, preaching the places. In the fifth stanza, he came to the door of cottage. Of a cottage means he came near the door of a woman, and what he said, in traveling around the earth, while he is traveling around the earth, where a little woman was making cake. Little women, here written little woman, but if we read further, Peter came to the house of an old woman who was baking cakes with his full heart while he was going preaching. Right? Now the sixth paragraph, what he is saying into the sixth paragraph? And being faint with fasting, since morning he haven't eaten anything. That's why we can say he is doing fasting. For the day was almost done. He asked her from her store of cake to give him a single one. Means being very weak with the fasting, at the end of the day, Saint Peter asked the women for a cake. from the heap of the cakes. Means a lot of the cake she is having, means she is having a bakery. That's why he want only one piece, one single cake. Okay, maybe it is of 1 kg, maybe it is of 2 kg, like this. Okay, she had baked, she had already baked that particular cake, and he wants only one single cake from a lot of the cakes. But now in the 7th paragraph, so she makes it. Now, as you know that the woman is so greedy, that's why she don't want to give away a single piece of cake without any money, right? That's why she make very little cake. But as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. She is thinking like this into her mind that just to give away without any money, it is so big and I don't want to away. Then she made the cake a smaller cake 3 times. I told you yesterday also, while I am telling you the theme and the message, that she made 3 cakes and third one is as thin as a wafer, and still she don't want to the Saint Peter all one single cake from all the 3 cakes which she has made it recently, right? Means here, when asked by the Saint Peter for a cake, the woman made a very small cake. But when she looked at it, while it lay baking, means she is baking a cake and it is in a oven or maybe it is in a furnace and she want to make it. But when she turned and when she looked toward the cake, she find that, oh, this one is so big of one cake, I don't want to give away to the Saint Peter without any money. While it lay baking, she thought that it is so large to be given away. That's why now 8th paragraph, there she needed another. You know what is the meaning of a needed? We needed a dough. आटा गूंदने को need बोलते हैं, right? Needed another and still a smaller one, but it looked when she turned it over as large as the first had done. But again she turned over toward a cake and she find that second one also as big as to give away without any money. So the women worked up the floor to make another cake, a smaller one. But when she turned it over, she thought it was as large as the first one. In the 9th paragraph, what she say, beta, these 16 stanzas, I want to in front of you that in the first paragraph, they told us about the Northland, that it is the winter season here, and in the second paragraph he told us about the reenders, about the sledges and how the children are looking like, right? And in the third paragraph they tell us about the curious story, and in the fourth paragraph the story started there that Saint Peter come near the cottage of a woman and he asked a single piece of cake because he is fasting since morning. 8th paragraph, she made a second cake. Now, in the 9th stanza, then she took a teeny scrap of dot. Means a dough is there and she took a single roll from that, a whole dough, right? And rolled it, flattened and bake it thin as a wafer. Now, this is third time she is making a cake, but she couldn't part with that. Now here what the poetess want us to understand, then she took a very small piece of dough and rolled it into a flat cake. Then she baked it like a wafer, but she could not give even this cake away. She put that particular cake like a wafer on the shelf. Now, and the 10th stanza, what he is saying, like this: my cake that seemed so small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away. Now, this shows the greediness of a woman, that to give away a single particular cake to someone without any money, this is a strange thing. This is not a good thing. That's why she don't want to give away a single cake to Saint Peter. Now here I am explaining the 10th paragraph again. Please listen it carefully. The women could not part with even the wafer thin cake that she had baked. She thought that her cake seemed too small to her when she herself ate them. Means if you are eating that particular cake, it is so small, but to give away without any money, it seems so large to her, but too large when she had to give them away to someone. Now, in the 11th stanza, then good Saint Peter grew anger. Now, the Saint Peter is standing outside and he is looking all the process, whatever she is doing, and he sees that first cake she made on, second cake she made on, and third thing like a wafer she again made on that, and she don't want to give that wafer like cake to the Saint Peter. Now the Saint Peter looking all the type of things and he get angry. Now what the Saint Peter did? For he was hungry, because he is hungry and faint. Faint means about to fallen on the ground. And surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. Provoke a saint. You know what is the meaning of a provoke? Uksana kisi ko. Right? Now here what he is saying in the 11th stanza, when the woman put away all her cakes, not giving any to the saint, he grew anger at such niggardliness of her. Niggardliness means her that unkindness thing, right? After all, he was so hungry and about to faint. The woman's behavior was enough to provoke the saint. Now, the saint is about to curse. Now, she didn't say anything to him while she is making all the 3 cakes, and now the Saint Peter curses her, and now again she is not able to speak any single word to the Saint Peter. Now in the 12th stanza, and he said, you are far too selfish to dwell in the human form. To dwell means to live in a human form, to have both food and shelter, because as a human being, we are having food, we are having shelter and fire to keep you warm, and we are also having a warm clothes as well as the furnaces at our home to warm ourselves. Right? Now what he is saying in the 12th paragraph, getting anger, the saint scolded the miserly woman, saying that she was so selfish that she didn't deserve to live in a human form. As a human being, she did not deserve. Now, in the 13th paragraph, what the poet is saying? What is the name of the poet? Phoebe Cary. Phoebecary. Phoebe Cary is saying here like this. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food. Scanty food means little amount of food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard dry wood. All day in the hard dry wood. Now what he is saying here like this, scolding the women for her extreme selfishness. The saint cursed her that from now onwards she should build a nest like bird to live, and like a bird you have to make your nest and have some little amount of food, right? And should have her insufficient food by mistake, a hole with her beak and the hard dry wood all day. Right? In the 14th paragraph, what the poet is saying here. Then up she went through the chimney, never speak a word. Now she gone inside the house and she came out from the chimney, and now she became a bird. Never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a bird picker, for she was changed to a bird. Now, here in the 14th paragraph, what the poet is speaking, at the curse of the Saint Peter, the women went up the chimney without speaking a word. She came out of the top of the chimney in the form of a woodpecker and flew away. She had been changed to a bird, change into a bird. Now here she changed into a bird just because of the curse of a Saint Peter. Now, in the 15th paragraph, what the poet is saying, she had a scarlet cap on her head. Beta, when she is making the cake now, imagine yourself that when she's baking a cake or making a cake in her cottage, she's wearing a red color cap as a chef, and she's wearing a lot of the clothes. But when she turned into a bird, she's still wearing a red color, we can say fur like skin over her head, and all the clothes fallen down and burned into a fire itself because of the curse of a Saint Peter, right? And left the same, but all the rest of her clothes were burnt black as a coal in the flame. What he is saying, she had a red cap on her head, which she had as a bird also, but all the rest of her clothes were turned as black as coal due to the fire and heat of chimney. Right? Now, 16th paragraph. This is the last one passage of our poem. I will make you understand again all the paragraphs in brief. Right? So, listen it carefully. And every country schoolboy has seen her becoming bird. Each and every schoolboy, each and every persons are able to see her that she is working in wood, where she live in the tree till this very day. Boring and boring for the food. Now, every schoolboy has seen this word woodpecker in the forest, and where it still lives in the tree, it keep boring hole in the tree trunk for food. Right? Now, this is all about the poem, but as I have in brief, I have explained you 1 to 8 paragraphs, but still the poem is so long, that's why I want to explain you again in brief. Okay, in first stanza, they are written like this, that the poem started from the country name Northland, and the season is winter season, and the nights are so long into the winter. Now, in the second paragraph, the peoples worked, still outside there is night, and they tied their slingers with the reenders. In the third paragraph, they speak like this, the poet speak like this, that the old generation tell a curious story to the grandchildren, but that story is so interesting that we can understand some kind of lesson by that particular story. Now, a Saint Peter come near the cottage of a woman, and she is baking the cake, and now because in the sixth paragraph, because since whole day he is fasting, that's why he want to eat something, and he eats. He wants a single piece of cake. And seventh one, she bakes one single piece of cake, but that particular cake is so small, so big when she wants to give away to that Saint Peter. In the eighth paragraph, she made another cake. That is the second one cake she made. Now the third cake she again made, and she take a tiny scrap of a dough from that particular dough, and she rolled it up as thin like a wafer, and again she baked it, and again she want, and again she don't want to give away to that cake. And in the 11th paragraph, the Saint Peter get angry, and then that provokes the Saint Peter. And the 12th paragraph, he says like this, that you are so selfish to live away on that particular land. And the 13th paragraph, he curses her that go and be a bird. And then she, in the 14th paragraph, she came out from the chimney, and now she become a bird. And in the 15th paragraph, there is a scarlet cat over her head. And in the 16th paragraph, they are written like this, that she will be, now the country children, boys, etc., are still looking to her, that she is still alive in the woods somewhere. Okay, like this, the poem ends, all the paragraphs. Is it not clear to you? Comment it below. I will make you understand again all the paragraphs. Thank you so much. Hmm? क्या था तेरे